Welcome to today's deep dive. Imagine living in a country with, like, the highest GDP in the history of the world, but a single hospital visit can just completely vaporize your entire life savings.
Yeah, it's quite the contradiction, right?
Exactly. And today we're unpacking a really provocative, viral piece of commentary from a source titled Geopolitics text. The author basically looks at that exact contradiction to make this tongue-in-cheek argument that the USA is actually a third world country in disguise.
Right, and we should probably be crystal clear right up front. Here we are absolutely not endorsing this viewpoint.
No, definitely not.
Our mission today is just to impartially break down the highly unconventional arguments the author uses to make this claim. We're just exploring the text. And you'll want to stick around because there's a very deliberate, surprising twist at the end.
Yeah, the ending definitely throws you for a loop. But let's get right into the first argument because I actually found it to be fairly weak, to be honest. The text begins its justification not with economics, but with weather.
Right, uncontrollable forces of nature.
Yeah. The author claims that even if you have a ton of money, a tornado can just sweep in and take your house away. But a natural disaster isn't a geopolitical failure, it's like a chaotic reset button. Nature doesn't care about your bank account. So, why do you think the author specifically chooses extreme weather as this first pillar to define their third world label?
Well, I'd actually push back on the idea that it's a weak argument.
Mhm.
I mean, it's not really about the weather itself. It's about what the weather reveals regarding our infrastructure and our resilience.
Okay, how so?
So we typically equate highly developed nations with this illusion of control, the idea that macro wealth buys you individual insulation from the elements. By opening with a tornado just obliterating a home, the author establishes this baseline of deep, immediate vulnerability.
I see.
Yeah, it challenges the assumption that a high national GDP actually protects the individual on a random Tuesday afternoon.
Well, that baseline of vulnerability makes a lot more sense when you look at the systemic risks they pivot to next. Because they jump from nature to American infrastructure, specifically healthcare.
The pension trap.
Right. The text argues that getting into a basic accident will result in a medical bill so massive it literally robs you of your pension. But I have to question the pacing here. How does the author just leap from natural disasters to personal financial ruin? It feels like they are really weaponizing the fear of losing your retirement to build their case.
Oh, they absolutely are. It's like living in a rigged casino where just one bad roll wipes out 40 years of careful planning.
That casino analogy is perfect, actually.
Yeah, because it captures the structural design of American medical billing that the author is pointing to.
Yeah.
In most highly industrialized nations, the systemic risk of a major illness is, distributed across the population through nationalized safety nets.
But the U.S. system shifts all that risk onto the individual.
Exactly. The author is highlighting this glaring dissonance, incredible national wealth paired with just extreme individual precariousness.
So the macro wealth doesn't translate to microsecurity at all. You can do everything right, save for a pension, and just lose it in a flash because of a structural gap.
Which brings us to how that precariousness trickles down into everyday survival, moving from rare catastrophes to the most basic need food.
Oh, wow, the food argument.
Mhm.
The author claims that just to find healthy food, you need extreme wealth, if you can even find it at all.
Yeah, they say you basically have to fly to Europe just for breakfast.
Which is wildly hyperbolic. I mean, flying across the Atlantic for a croissant.
It is, but it underscores the core theme. They are framing basic sustenance as this insurmountable luxury.
Right.
The whole argument is that the fundamental building blocks of a secure life, housing, health, and now food, are structurally unprotected.
But then we get the curveball. Right after this dystopian picture of flying to Europe for food, the author abruptly drops the curtain. They literally reveal the whole rant was just for fun.
Yeah, they tell you not to overthink your life.
Exactly. And they promise a return to hardcore geopolitics in their next episode. What does this sudden just for fun disclaimer say about modern internet commentary, like using extreme claims to hook an audience?
Well, it completely reframes the entire text, but it shows how the attention economy works. The specific joke only lands because it exploits a very real cultural anxiety.
Right, because true wealth to a regular person isn't an aircraft carrier, it's a safety net.
Exactly. The just for fun disclaimer reveals it was a performance, but the friction between national power and personal vulnerability is entirely real.
So to summarize our deep dive, we explored a short piece of commentary that used weather, medical debt, and food accessibility to poke fun at the USA.
Wrapped up with a wink, yeah.
Right. Which leaves you with a final question to ponder. If this author uses these specific vulnerabilities or infrastructure, healthcare, and food systems just for fun, how do actual hardcore geopolitical analysts weigh these everyday risks against traditional metrics of a nation's wealth and power? Next time you see a skyrocketing GDP chart, you have to ask yourself, how much does that number really protect you from the storm?